118% of what number is 16? Can anyone help, please? Ashley, what do you think? Okay, Ashley's not with us. Josh, what do you think? Okay, Josh is not with us. Lindsay, what do you think? Okay, Lindsay is not with us. So, Brianna, when we change from a number to a decimal, from a percent to a decimal, we only divide by 100. So to change from a decimal number, from a percent to a decimal number, we divide by 100, or we move the decimal point 2 spots to the left. 2 spots. What is the operation for of?
Multiply.
Yes. Times x, and then what do I represent this by? Is 16.
Equals.
Yes, that's it. Good. So this is 1.18, x equals 16. All I have to do to find x is by what we divide by?
1.18.
Exactly. So 16 divided by 1.18, both sides. So when we divide this, we get, let's verify what we get here with the calculator. So 16 divided by 1.18. So we got 13.56. Good. Okay. 14.1, another problem, is 30% of what number? 14.1 is 30% of what number? Can anyone tell us how to write this? Of course, we need an equation. 14.1 is 30% of what number?
So would that be 0.0014?
This is not percent.
Oh, okay.
So this is 14.1. What do we translate is in by?
Equals.
Yes. Now the 30% has to be changed into 0.3.
Oh yeah.
Of?
Times.
Very good. And what number? Of course, it's x. So we have x equals 14.1 over 0.3. Let's see what that is. 14.1 divided by 0.3. So we got 47. So x equals 47. Any questions on this problem? Okay. Next problem. What percent of 39 is 51? What equation do I have to create now? So what percent or what number? This must be x, or any letter, it doesn't matter. What does of 39 mean? How do I change that?
Times 39
Excellent. What about is 51? What do I do now?
equals 51.
That's it. So then x equals 51 over 39. Let's see what that is. 51 divided by 39. That is 1.31. But this is a decimal number, and we have to change it into a percent. How do I change 1.31 into percent? This is not percent to divide or move the decimal digit to the right. This is a number, and we want to make it into percent. What will this be? 1.31 in percent. Exactly. Because the decimal point is here. If I want to change it, I have to divide by 100 and I get this. If I want to change it into a decimal number. Excellent. Any questions? Any questions? If I'm asked to find 30% of 4,500, how do I find that? 30% of 4,500. Let's say somebody's paid $4,500 a month and they pay 30% for rent every paycheck.
4,500 times 0.3.
Yes, 45, excellent, times 0.3. And let's see what we get. Or you multiply by 3 over 100, which is this same thing. By 30 over 100. Okay, so we have 4,500 multiplied by 0.3. 30% of this will go to rent. So that is 1,350. Good. Perfect. Let's say there are 60 questions on a test, and I tell you that I only answered 80% correct. How many questions did I answer correctly? So I told you I took a test of 60 questions and I got 80% correct.
60 times 0.8.
Yes, indeed. 60 multiplied by 0.8.
48.
Yes, perfect. So 48 out of the 60 I answered correctly. How many incorrectly?
12.
Yes, the difference between 48 and 60, so I messed up on 12 of them. Very good. Good. Let's look at something with fractions now. 4 and 1 over 20 is what percent of 4.5? Don't get bothered by fractions. Please don't. However, they have to be changed into mixed numbers. From mixed numbers into improper fraction. Can anyone give us the improper fraction for this and for this?
49 over 12.
Correct? No, so here, this is 48 plus 1, 49. Perfect, you're correct. And here?
9 over 2.
Good. Perfect. So now let's write the equation we need to solve this question. This is what percent of this? How do I write that? $49 over 12. How do I translate is?
42 over 12 equals x times 9/2.
Yeah, so you mean equals, right? So it's x times 9/2. I agree. Good. How did we solve such an equation last time? What did we do to both sides?
Multiply both sides by the common denominator.
Yes, which is excellent. Yes, yes, indeed. So 12 over 1 times 12 over 1. Do not multiply, but simplify first. So when I simplify the left-hand side, notice that I write 1. I don't want you to think it's 0. So the left-hand side is 49. The right-hand side is 54x. How do I find x? 49 over 54. Any questions on this? Any questions, please?
Can we do another one?
Yes. Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do have a question.
Go
Where
ahead.
did you get 6 from?
2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6.
Okay.
You should always ask because maybe you see something I don't and it's better to go back and check. Yes, Rachel, when you said another problem, you meant
Oh, the same kind of problem, just like 5/7/16 of whatever.
okay, so here's a question. Let's suppose somebody's weight is, just give me any weight in pounds. You choose. And I would,
245?
I'm sorry?
245?
245. And then 2.5% of W is the brain weight. So a person with a total weight of 245 will have, like everybody else, 2.5% of the body weight will be the brain's weight. It was determined experimentally that roughly 2.5% of everybody's body weight is the weight of their brain. How much is the weight of the brain of a person that weighs 245? How do I write that? I have to write an equation or just calculate. Sorry about that. So
So you just multiply 0.025.
yes. So we have, first of all, we have to change this into this time. So this is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So then 5/2% of 245. But we still have to work on this because we cannot use this expression in percent. So I have to divide by 100. Okay? Careful. When we divide by 100, if you remember we said, is like multiplying by 1 over 100. So instead of writing 5/2 over 100, because we have to flip it anyway, we prefer to write this from the beginning. Again, division by 100 is basically multiplication by 1 over 100. Division by 4 is basically multiplication by 1 over 4. Division by 1,000 is basically multiplication by 1 over 1,000. So this is a better setup than having to write this. Because from here, you still have to write 5/2 and flip 1 over 100. But if you understand this from the very beginning, that division by whatever is basically multiplying by 1 over that whatever, that will save you a lot of time. So let me write it again here. Division by, give me a number, any number you want me to write the definition. Division by, choose a number.
12.
Very good. Is multiplication by, or can be replaced by multiplication by what? When I divide by 12, I literally do what? Multiply by
Hundred.
1 over 12. So when I divide by 12, I basically multiply by 1 over 12. When I divide by 100, I basically multiply by 1 over 100. When I divide by 10, I basically multiply by 1 over 10. Division by 12 and multiplication by 1 over 12 mean the same thing. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Please say something.
Yes.
But do we understand why? Because when I divide by 100, then I have to flip. I copy the fraction from the top and I flip the denominator. So division by 100 is the same with multiplication by 1 over 100. That's why division by 12 is the same with multiplication by 1 over 12. Is that better? It's the same thing. I have to flip the fraction in the denominator, which now is 100 over 1.
Give inverse.
Exactly, exactly. So when I divide by 12, I basically divide by 12 over 1, so I have to write 1 over 12. So that's why I chose any number you wanted to illustrate this with. So division by whatever you choose means multiplication by 1 over whatever you choose. Good. So coming back to our problem. So we have 5 over 2 times 1 over 100 times 245. Okay? So let's try to simplify a little bit. We can put it in the graphing calculator. It's not important really. But let's illustrate. We simplify by 5 and I get 20. And we can also simplify here by 5. So I have 10. And here by 5, I have 49. So the numerator is 49, and the denominator is 20. I still have to divide to see what is the weight. So, or you can write it as a mixed number, as 2 and 9 over 20 pounds. That's all it means. So, in other words, a person 245 pounds will have a brain that weighs more than 2 pounds, about 2.5, roughly. Good. Any questions? Any questions?
So couldn't you have just took 0.025 times 245?
Because you have 2.5, it's 0.025, yes, times 245. Yes, that's the same thing. I completely agree. So you could have changed this into a decimal number. I changed it into a fraction and I simplified. Both routes are perfect. You choose. Good. So let's take a look at a few examples in 3.3. Let me open. So I'm sorry, not 3.3, 3.4, sorry. Okay. Let's see if there is anything else that we need to look at. Before we do that, I just would like to talk about percent increase. So let's say you have a salary, give me a salary.